Welcome to the Lazy Bardcast. My name is Kyle Paquin, and this is a side quest called Clue to a Heist.
Hi, I'm David Williams, and today I will be playing Dr. Professor Raspberry Esquire III. Don't forget the titles, I worked hard for at least half of them.
I'm Josh Yarnell. I'm playing Archibald Leopold Banks, a wealthy trophy hunter.
My name is Brianna Paquin, and I'm playing Judy Scarlett, who is a wonderful sorcerer.
I'm Kyle Dow, and I'm playing Thaddeus Montgomery. They call me Mr. Montgomery, and I'm a buyer and seller of things.
Wow, I did not expect that voice at all.
My name is Jean-Luc Jacques. I'm playing Minkus Pine. He's an accountant.
The players find themselves in 1897 in a world much like Eberron at the estate of Dr. not Professor, Dr. Norman Body, an inventor, a man rumored to have a very powerful magical object in which he powers his steampunk creations, likely attributing to his wealth and notoriety. The first to arrive at this illustrious estate is our Dr. Professor Raspberry Esquire. Dr. Professor, how do you arrive?
Well, in my wagon, of course, with my entourage following behind, carrying all of the things that I need for the evening, as I'm not about to carry them myself.
Your wagon trunks its way through the double gates, which prominently display the number of the house, 999, 999. And they're black gates with rows of hedges to the side. You can see there's somewhat of a garden to the right, and high windows, a very nice Victorian mansion. Something that's obviously noticeable is a gigantic telescope jutting out from the top. Seems to be some sort of observatory.
Well, the hedge trimmer could certainly use some more training. The bush is crooked.
A butler comes out to open your wagon door and greet you. Hello, I'm the butler. Welcome to the estate.
Yes, my things are inside. May you please step aside?
Of course, I'll just escort you to the door and into the foyer.
Yes, sounds wonderful. I step out of the wagon and start making my way.
As you arrive at these golden double doors that have been very timely synced to your arrival, as they open and their brass handles sort of seem to knock as if something knocked on them.
Well, that's a nice touch.
The butler asks you, "May I take your coat?"
Yes, that would be wonderful, and I take off my coat. I am a half-orc sorcerer. Most notably is the tusk sticking from the bottom jaw, one sticking up and kind of digging into my upper lip a little bit, that has a small engraving. Those of arcane persuasion may recognize the arcane rune of wild magic. I have braided hair, very grayed. I'm obviously an older half-orc, and all of my clothes are pretty perfect. The only thing more dapper than myself are the various jewels, rings, things that signify the level of importance I deserve.
The butler escorts you into the foyer where drinks are waiting and points out the lounge in which to wait for the rest of the guests.
I'm waiting here.
Yes, sir. There's plenty of drinks and appetizers.
Oh, yes, please bring them out. You may go.
Yes, I'll be in the front waiting for the rest of the guests. You luxuriate in the lounge as a couple mechanical servants come towards you, humanoids in at least their construction, carrying platters of drinks and various foodstuffs.
You may set it down.
They do so at your commands.
Wonderful. I nibble.
So delicately.
Can I be next?
All right, Archie, how did you arrive?
I pull up in like a little carriage. Upon stopping, I wait for a moment, and then I hit the lackey in the back of the head and go, "Open the door for me, I've arrived." And then when I step out, what can be seen is a very well-groomed, tall, slender man with the nicest, finest leather garments that money can buy. Little zip-offs right underneath the kneecap. and a large brimmed hat. And then you can see as he steps out of the carriage, he has this sly smirk on his face, despite the bit of wine stains that's in his goatee. Thank you, pick me up this evening. And then I'll just kind of set my cane down on my side and kind of walk pompously in. You can see that the cane is pretty decorative and adorned. It has all these like levers and levers on the side, and I'll stroll in.
The butler, seeing you get close to the door, feels uncomfortable and kind of rushes out and says, I meant to greet you at your carriage, but welcome. Your name?
I'm Archibald Leopold Banks.
Archibald. Yes, of course. You were invited. Please come in. One of the other guests have also arrived. There's plenty of drinks and hors d'oeuvres for you.
Here's my coat.
Thank you. As he moves it into the other room.
Yes.
Sir Archibald Leopold. Sir Archibald.
Archibald. Just call me Archie.
Sir Archibald Leopold Banks. I did not expect to see you here. It's a pleasure to meet you again.
Well, it's good to see you too, Mr. Dr. Professor.
I assume we extend each other's hands, cupped to hold.
Charmed.
And we cheers our knuckles.
The laziest knuckle bump.
You've moisturized.
Well, Miss Judy Scarlet arrives in the most lavish carriage there is to be in this land. It is quite polished for this specific invitation. The horses are nicely groomed and white and just clean and crisp, just like her personality. She waits in her carriage for her driver to come open the door. Seems like a appropriate place to be for a woman like as myself. And she goes and strolls in.
The butler meets you halfway to the door and says, welcome. Your name?
Miss Scarlet, Judy Scarlet, darling.
Ah, yes, Julie Scarlet, as stunning as they said you were to be. Please come in.
Thank you. I stroll in, kind of giving him the side eye of like, I know what you were trying to say there, but I'm just going to be a polite lady like I should be. And just walk in.
Please, the guests are here in the lounge. Take drinks and appetizers as you see fit. There's a few more to arrive.
Do the drinks have carbs, my darling?
I'm not sure what that is, but I don't think so.
Thank you so much. And I walk in, and I go to find Dr. Professor and Archie, I guess. Hello.
Well, hello.
Your name is, sir?
Archibald Leopold Banks. At your service, madame.
Thank you. And you, sir?
That would be Dr. Professor Raspberry Esquire III. Definitely not at your service, ma'am.
Oh. I just sit down with my glass of uncarbonated or not carbed champagne.
As we all know, there's a bunch of carbs in carbonated water.
I'm trying to act here, bro.
I'm on a diet, just the flattest water.
I should have done that.
You take a drink off of the low-carb selection, the diet water section.
Thank you.
There's bubbly champagne and non-bubbly champagne.
Yes. As the mechanical servant just has its vocoder say, "You're welcome." Sean, how would you like to arrive?
So off into the distance, as everyone came in on carriage, right?
Pretty much.
So everyone's kind of limo entrance. I'm gonna be more in a kind of cab carriage, not the nicest. And as I come up, you're just gonna hear a bunch of like, I don't think this is the right place. I don't think this is it. This is the wrong place. I'm telling you. I don't think this is right.
As your shabby cab of a wagon sort of goes by, almost seeming like it's going to pass, the butler runs out and sort of flags you down. Wait!
Keep going. That guy's a crazy man, I think.
Hello? Yes, are you here for the party?
I told you it was this place. Yes.
Okay, well, back up a little bit. It's like an Uber.
You heard him. Go. Over there. As I'm getting ready to dismount the carriage, kind of just pull out a bunch of money out of my pockets and just give them whatever I find.
The carriage driver smiles and nods and yells a yeehaw at the horses.
I will fall off the carriage as he does that.
As this carriage driver for hire whips his horses into full speed as fast as he can, you sort of fly off the edge of your seat, not quite out the door. Go ahead and make a dex save.
11.
You kind of try to land on both feet, but then sort of miss it and sit down in a pistol squat and very painfully get back up to your feet.
My luggage was still on there.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
What, your name?
Minkus.
Minkus.
Pine.
What? One moment. He opens up his lapel and pulls out a sheet.
I'll kind of look over him, put on my big-ass glasses, and just... Right there, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Minkus. Sorry, I wrote it Dinkus.
Yeah, it's a family name.
Well, anyway, you are invited to the party. Go ahead and come on in. The lounge is just to the left there. There's the rest of your party is in there as well.
Minkus will enter kind of in awe of how big this place is and looking around almost like it's a haunted mansion.
Mr. Leopold, do you see that fellow? I think he's in the wrong neighborhood.
Hey, glasses!
Minkus just is kind of taking the whole place in still.
Yeah, you.
I start snapping. I think he's deaf. Just leave the poor lad alone, yeah?
Thaddeus, right as the cab driver for hire, so to speak, whipped his horses, you felt like it was the right time to move in and get into this place.
I'm pulling up at a really comfortable distance away from this amazing cab driver on a single horse. So I'm going to pull up immediately to the very front with my horse, right up to like the steps, kind of as if I'm going to park my horse there, and try to aim for the butler. Not to run him over, sorry, to get his attention.
Oh.
Sorry.
You see the butler kind of looking out suspiciously as he's trying to close the doors, and then sees like a horse coming towards the mansion, being like,
Oh, hold that door, sir.
hello. He sort of sticks halfway out through the double doors.
Are you going to help me with this or what? I'm starting to get off my horse and start kind of padding down, trying to figure out where I can tie him up.
Are you here for the party?
Of course I'm here for the party. What is your job?
I'm the butler. What is your name?
My name is Thaddeus Montgomery, and I need help with Mr. Montgomery. I've paid a lot of money for this thing, and I don't want it to run away.
Well, that would be quite easy. We could just close the outer gates, and that wouldn't be a problem, but...
Well, come on out here. Show me how to do it. I'll help you out. Don't make me tied up to the stairs. That's just rude.
Roll persuasion.
That is a natural 20 for 22.
Well, I suppose I could at least help you tie it down. Don't want it running around with the guests.
As he goes to help me out, I'm going to hand the butler the reins. I'm like, I do oblige, thank you, and I'm going to walk past him through the door.
Oh,
I tip my hat, and good day.
The stables are on the other side. Okay.
I'll put in a good word. You're doing a great job.
The butler quickly starts running around to the left side of the house and trying to get to the stable so he can tie up the horse and quickly get back to the party.
I don't pay attention. Wasn't my horse. As I walk inside, you'll see a nice three-piece suit. Pretty fine. I got a top hat with a couple playing cards tucked into the rim of the hat. The kind of typical banner around it. I've got this nice thin mustache and pointed beard. I'm looking relatively sketch, but with confidence. He's got some sort of ulterior motive. But I walk in and take off my hat, kind of spin it around, look for a hat rack.
There is no hat rack. The butler probably would have taken it if he was there. But you do see Mr. Minkus right in front of you, sort of looking around at the high ceilings.
Well, hello there.
Jesus!
Well, hello there, fella. Pardon me, you okay?
Do I sneak up on everyone?
No, I did not sneak up on you, sir. Looks like you were really stuck on that corner of the ceiling right there.
Minkus will take out a handkerchief and wipe his forehead and then take a swig of something.
Water.
I like your style as I put my hat back on and pull out my own flask of something and take a swig myself.
What?
Tip my hat and I walk past.
You kind of use intuition to sort of figure out the lounge is just to the side of the entrance here, where you hear some mechanical whirring and a couple of
Miss Scarlet, was it?
Yes, Dr. Professor?
How do you know this Mr. Body?
Oh, we go way back. My parents knew his parents, and we just became family friends for a good amount of time. But I personally am not that close to him, to be quite honest with you. I just received the invitation and thought it'd be an exciting event to go to. What about yourself?
Well, my reasons for being here are my own. Thank you for asking me.
Oh, quite. Archie, what about yourself?
Well, I couldn't go an evening without visiting the famous trophy room of one Mr. Body.
The trophy room?
Yes!
Oh, and how do you know about this trophy room?
Well, I have my sources.
Pardon me, ma'am. How do you not know about this trophy room? It's a fantastic trophy room, full of trophies, full of rooms.
Oh, and your name, sir?
Thaddeus Montgomery, as I tip my hat.
Okay.
Let's extend a hand.
Well, I extend the hand back and expecting a formal kiss. There you go.
I kiss it and give it back.
Mikas is gonna make his way to the appetizer table. Sorry. And he's going to hold it up and be like, man, it was hard to get here, huh? And he's gonna go for a bite and it's gonna fall on him.
You got a little something on here.
Yes, if you dabble it to Walter on there, that should come out quite
I gotta give you a handkerchief and keep pulling a longer handkerchief out of my pocket.
I'll just look at
changing
mine
colors.
and open my jacket and I have 3 of them and I'll be like, that's okay.
I whip it out and turn it into a different color.
Oh
and
my,
put it back in my
he's
pocket.
the lounge entertainment.
Thaddeus Montgomery at your service, sir.
Pleasure.
I must know your barber. That mustache is exquisite.
Oh, well, he's fantastic with the blade. And, if you're ever back in town, call him Theodore Vanderbilt Roosevelt III. Tell him that Thaddeus had sent you.
All right,
Fantastic.
then.
At this point, you guys hear sort of panting and rapid shuffling and a slamming of doors as you see the butler bust into the room looking very frazzled, as if he had to
chase a horse.
My apologies. Dinner is within an hour in the dining room. I shall escort you. In the meantime, you may be rested. You can go to your rooms and freshen, change, whichever you like.
Wonderful. I stand and start walking.
The Mr. Body, for the rest of you, he will be joining you at dinner. He's indisposed at the moment.
You're doing a great job, sir. I appreciate your work. I will make sure to put in a second good word for you.
Yes,
thank you,
you smell
sir.
like horse poop.
The butler kind of wipes his trousers very forcefully. Yes, but your rooms are upstairs if you need to get changed or anything. Feel free, the grounds are yours, but be aware that places are locked, and they should remain that way.
I gotta hand him a handkerchief, and then just before he goes to grab it, I'll whip it back, and it's a bouquet of flowers.
Roll persuasion.
Second natural 20.
Ew, burn them up.
He takes the flowers and go, for me.
Yes, it was more where that came from. If you continue doing such a good job,
You're starting to grow on me.
always do.
Mr. Butler, which way to the master's trophy room?
Oh, I would love to see such a
me too. I'd like to
fine
see
room.
that also.
The trophy room is in the parlor, where we will retire after dinner, but if you must see it, it's just down the hall to the left through the grand ballroom.
I'll go now.
I think I'll go too. I'll go with you.
Dr. Professor, where did you actually start walking to?
In the direction he motioned when he said we could go to our rooms.
Okay, great. So you go outside of the lounge and you enter into more of an open area with a wonderful fountain in the center. It has various flecks of gold and silver, very intricately made. Looks like magically so, since there are some kind of whirring steampunk birds chirping around this fountain. As you walk into this room, you also see a mural on the floor. It seems to be the same numbers as on the gate, 3 9s arranged in sort of a triangular fashion, also theming gold and silver. There is 2 staircases on either side that go up to the left and to the right, or you can go through and go down the hall to the left or to the right.
I look around for one of the robotic butlers.
There doesn't seem to be any in sight currently.
Turn around and go back to the lounge.
You find 4 of them.
Hello, rooms.
Yes.
Mine.
Follow. The room is upstairs. You are in room 12.
As he's speaking, I kind of move my hand in a circular motion, motioning for him to just spit it out. And wonderful. Thank you so much. And I leave and go in that direction.
All right.
To find my room.
You head up the stairs, down to the right, and into room 12, which is a very nice suite with its own lounge area, bedroom, and bath.
Nice. Perfect. I know dinner's in an hour, so I'll hold off on my bath and I'll just touch up my makeup.
Great. The other guys are going to the trophy room. Miss Scarlet, are you going to the trophy room or staying in the lounge or something else?
I'd like to go to my room, actually.
Okay. You ask the butler where your room is, and you're in room 11, which is just across the hall from Dr. Professor's room. You see a nice room with a chambered bed in one room and also a lounge in the other with a freshening station of water.
Do I notice any, special fancy mirrors, murals, satin, anything?
I mean, the whole mansion is very well decorated.
Okay.
And certainly there are mirrors and very well-appointed wash basins, especially for a place like this. It doesn't appear that anything is particularly noteworthy other than the ballroom area, which I described earlier.
So I just go in my room, I walk in, and I close the door, and I just kind of... I lock the door behind me, I just go...
So, Thaddeus, Minkus, and Archie, you guys head down to the hall through the ballroom. You also notice, Minkus, as you were staring up at the ceiling most of the time, there's not only a wonderful mural and fountain in this ballroom, but there are various large, heavy chandeliers. And you go down to the hall to the left into the parlor, which has a large fireplace, various couches and sitting areas. It has a whole host of different trophies all along the walls. You see various normal beasts, caribou and bears and sorts, but also, the magical variant of owl bears and even some aboleth tentacles and very exotic things in cases. There's also a large fireplace hearth in the center of the room, which is sort of like a metal variant with a large tube heading up to the ceiling.
Well, there's a few things that I'm just gonna go take a gander at real quick, and then I'll kind of go off towards some of the trophies and little artifacts. And I'm gonna pull out a small knife, and I'm just gonna slowly, as I go across some of the nice ones, deface them a little bit. Maybe gouge out a piece of the bone, maybe cut some of the stuff, just so if anyone were to ask, I would have the nicest trophies.
You get the feeling that the butler may come in the parlor at any time.
But he's not in here yet. So as I show off to Minkus and Thaddeus, I'll go, well, these antlers are very nice, except for this chip right here. And then I'll put it back down, and and that rhino horn over there. Oh, it's just some of it's missing. Now.
Well, I mean, it's a rhino horn. Don't you think it wouldn't be perfect? Right?
In fact, I do believe that if it was perfect, then that rhino probably haven't seen too much, so it's probably not worth much.
Oh, you say? And I'll try to put some pieces of the rhino horn back in place.
I love Archie, man.
Yes, well, it seems like you seem to be an enthusiast yourself.
Did you say you want to see one of mine? And I'll pull out a little rabbit's foot, and I go, this one's a lucky.
Uh-huh.
This one isn't. And I'll pull out a different one.
You seem to be a collector of many things. That's
Yes.
a rabbit's foot or two?
Or two.
So what is it that you collect, sir, other than rabbit's feet?
Ooh, I'm collecting this now, and I'll pick up something, and I'll pocket it from in the trophy room.
I do say I do know. Don't think that thing will be missed. How about you, Mr... What was your name?
Minkus?
Minkus. Right.
Pine.
Mr. Pine.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I've learned enough about you today. This is a mighty fine collection of random trophies. I think I might take a look over here and just kind of walk away from them to the other corner of the room.
Yeah, there's a few large open windows with various drapes along them in this trophy room. And you can see that the fireplace is currently lit, the large one in the far side of the room. And interestingly, you also see that the second fireplace, which Obviously, that's pretty unusual. To have 2 fireplaces in the room is not really open to generate heat. It seems to be sort of like shaking in a sense, like the heat's all concentrated inside of it rather than radiating outward.
Minkus will kind of just keep looking around, and I'm sure after a while he's going to look to his peripheral and see that he wasn't ready for something big and it's going to scare him, and that's probably about it.
You look at the large portrait of Dr. Norman Body above the fireplace, and he looks like he's looking at you, no matter where you move in the room. Not like Scooby-Doo eyes looking at you, but...
Like Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Well, I'm satiated for now. To dinner.
I think I'm just going to take a moment and catch up with you.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
You start hearing a bell. Dinner is served. Come to the dining room. You guys all shuffle into the dining room. A beautifully adorned place. Extra lace curtains and a nice silverware set. It's a long oak table, very powerful looking, and at the head of it is an older man with a well-adorned wool 3-piece suit, a monocle, and sort of slick back hair. And he greets you.
Welcome, everyone. Before we take our seats and enjoy roasted duck, pickled herring, and fresh turnips, I offer a toast.
Yeah.
There are glasses around the table. Everyone, raise your glass. You must have wondered why I invited you all tonight. Well, I just wanted to say before we dove into dinner and the rest of the night that I am toasting tonight to my success over all of you. Minkus, you might have swindled a few out of coin, but I've swindled more. Dr. Professor Esquire III.
My, you nailed it your first try.
I'm not only a doctor and a professor, but I am an archaeologist.
My mortal nemesis.
They said I couldn't get mine.
And Miss Scarlet,
Yes.
I have found even more dubious ways to acquire my jewels. And finally, Archie.
Yeah.
You saw my trophy room. I am clearly the superior hunter, and I don't have to buy my things. And to whoever you are,
And what have you bested me with, Mr. Body?
certainly dressing better tonight.
That's
To my
like
success.
Almost exactly the same.
I just agree with him. Well, he got that right.
And Mr. Body will take his glass.
I will begrudgingly drink mine.
I set mine on the table.
Miss Scarlet, do you drink?
No.
I take a single sip, and then as everyone else is like taking their drink, I pour the rest of mine into Minkus's glass as if I finished my drink.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check while you do that. Archie, go ahead and make a con save.
That's a 26.
Nice. You do so successfully.
15.
That's a save. And
I took a sip.
Thaddeus, make it with advantage then.
16.
You save. You see as Mr. Body drinks his full-throated gulps of the wine, he smiles this big, sort of dashing but not very exciting grin, and then his eyes sort of look strange, and he collapses onto the floor.
Well, it seems we've bested you, Mr. Body.
This was a mighty fine year, I must say.
Whoa, did you do that?
Oh, what happened? The butler rushes in. What, Mr. Body?
Someone put their fingers in my drink. It tastes funny.
Butler, gather my things. I'll be leaving.
He's gone. You guys see Dr. Body lying on the ground in the arms of the butler, who's frantically asking, What happened?
Well, it seemed he tried to get one over on us, and he failed to foresee someone else getting one over on him.
I'm gonna go over and check if he's alive.
Go and make a medicine
I'm
check.
gonna go do that.
Listen, I'm a doctor. There's obviously something wrong with him. He's probably not getting back
I
up.
thought you were a professor.
I'm both. Thank you for remembering.
Are you a doctor or are you a professor?
I thought you were a raspberry.
You are looking mighty red.
6.
Minkus, you go over to Dr. Body and you try to ascertain whether or not he's alive or dead, and he's not exactly breathing, but you're not sure if he's unconscious or dead.
He could have just had too much to drink, guys.
Mr. Butler,
Yes.
what will become of the late doctor's trophies?
Is he dead or not?
Well, I don't think
doesn't
so.
seem to be breathing.
Yeah, me neither.
Look, I'm just Mr. Pine. I don't have a doctor. All right, like, don't we have one of those here?
I'm not prepared for this I'm just a butler.
Just ask him.
I walk over to the corpse, to the body, as it were, and I check for a pulse.
Roll medicine, yo. With advantage, because you're a doctor.
14.
He's dead.
As I stated before I laid hands on the body, it is a body.
Minkus is holding his other arm while he's saying this, like, oh! It just throws it.
But is there a last will and testament upon the body?
I'm gonna start rifling through his pockets. The body's pockets.
Mr. Body's body.
The butler is going to be like, hey, just stop that. No, servants.
He was attempting to get one over on me, and I intend to find out why.
The mechanical servants come whirring into the room and say from their vocoders, danger, danger. One of them takes the body out of the room and up the stairs before you can really go through many of his pockets. The butler seems to be in hysterics, but it seems like there's these mechanical servants are now taking up somewhat guard positions in the room.
Mr. Butler, was it? Did I get that correct?
Yes.
Yes. How long until we may be allowed to leave?
Well, it seems like he was killed.
Yeah, everyone in this room is now a suspect.
It seems
Except for me.
again, there's two people that have touched this body, and that two people being you and you, Professor and Dr. Pine.
Yes,
Mr.
the
Pine.
post-deceased body, correct.
Well, we all know that there's ways of casting spells and doing nefarious things.
Mr. Butler, it seems like you're quite hysterical. Should you maybe check on Mr. Body's body?
Yes, in fact, maybe I should check with the cook as well.
Would the cook be the one responsible for this wine?
That's true.
It was delectable. I would love another glass.
I'm not sure. I'll be right back.
Could you also ask him how long until the meal will be served?
So want to eat with a guy on the ground?
Well, he's been taken out of the room.
He promised duck.
Well, I, for one, agree with Sir Archie. We should just wait for dinner and just enjoy what we were supposed to eat anyway. I mean, it was a dinner party, was it not?
Well, our host just died, and...
Do you intend to allow all of this nice duck to go to waste?
Yeah, I don't even like duck.
Mr. Butler,
There's
I
potatoes.
must inquire, where did the other butlers, I presume, take Mr. Body's body?
Before he can answer you, there's a loud knock, seemingly from the front door, and the butler, before he can answer, goes, one moment.
Wonderful. More imbeciles. And I sit down in my chair and instinctively almost go to take a drink before setting my cup back down on the table.
Well, it seems we've got some time to kill.
Do you want to play a game? Yahtzee.
Do you have a carry set?
I have a single die.
A guy just died.
I think that was the pun. A single die,
I get it.
as a single person had died.
This is the part where you laugh.
Does death make you uncomfortable, Mr. Dingus?
He starts like huffing a little bit and takes off his glasses and says, "No, no."
Clearly, well, you said you had some die.
Yes, one.
Well,
Here, if I roll a 6, you all give me money.
I just put my hand in my face on the table.
Okay, what if you roll not a 6?
Then I don't get money.
Or, well, I don't really want to.
Well, lucky you today.
I kind of want to go to the door because these guys are freaking me out.
Okay, well, before so, make perception checks.
12.
12.
10.
17.
12.
Oh, Yahtzee.
Minkus, you hear some tussling and a light argument happening at the door before you hear the distinct, authoritative voice saying, I'm an inspector. Let me in.
Minkus will kind of calm down a little bit and then go over to the door also.
Then I casually leave the dining room and go to the trophy room again.
I'm going to do something that I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to prestidigitate my wine glass to clean the wine in hopes of leaving behind whatever had tainted said wine.
All right, go ahead and roll me Arcana then.
12.
11.
13.
Yahtzee.
10?
10.
You do your incantation, and a sort of puff of green magic comes from your glass, and you think you did it.
Is there any residue remaining in said glass?
There's still wine in there. You're not sure what happened exactly, but you think you did do it. Mingus, as you head towards the door, you see the butler trying to not let in what appears to be a inspector, or better known as an insight, who's demanding his way through.
Minkus will kind of like take in a big deep breath and be like, what's going on here? And come up behind him.
The inspector will instantly say, I know someone's in here. There's been nefarious intent, and everyone is suspect now. Let me in.
Where is your warrant?
You guys are still in the dining room.
Where is your warrant?
The inspector has impeccable hearing. And from through the dining room, down the hall, through the ballroom, and through the foyer to the front door, he can hear you. I don't need a warrant. I'm the inspector. Now let me in. And he pushes past the butler. Now, what is your name?
I'm Minkus Pine.
Minkus Pine. As he furiously scratches into
You haven't shown any identification at all. How do we know you're even an insight?
There it is. And he shows you very official identification of being an inspector/insight.
So, why are you here again?
I'm here because I got a tip from one of our agents that a certain Gladius Montgomery is here. What?
I don't think we have anyone named that at all here.
Are you positive?
No. Oh, Gladius Montgomery.
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 Yes, Montgomery.
He's in the bathroom.
So as you can see, I don't believe there's a Gladius Montgomery here at this party.
Well, I have very good information that he is here. Now, let us go. There certainly has to be others here.
Another in your favor, Archibald. I must say, 200 gold. How about double or nothing?
Well, if you say so.
The inspector goes to turn down the hall to head to the parlor, which is also the trophy room, and passes by the dining room and hears people in there, sticks his head in.
Hello, I'm an inspector. Come with me, all of you in here.
Very well. May we get a move on? I would very much like to leave.
Yes, please, everyone come into this wide open area. What is this room called here, Butler?
The ballroom.
Yes, the ballroom. Everyone come into the ballroom.
Sure.
As you guys walk into the ballroom, the inspector is leading, and as you kind of like sort of do a lineup, so to speak, in the center of the ballroom, why don't y'all make a dex save?
We're here to dance, Inspector.
No.
16.
16.
16.
I'm not in the room.
Yahtzee.
That's true, you're not there. You guys all sort of hear something creaking over the top of the staircase and sort of instinctively take a step back as Dr. Body's body falls from the second level and smacks right down on the floor right in between you guys and the inspector.
This is why you don't hire mechanical servants.
You guys hear, oh no, from the second level.
He had too much to drink.
What is this?
I don't know.
I assumed this is why you were here.
No, this is not why I was here, but this is certainly questionable.
Well, the butler was there. He made a toast and insulted each and every one of us and then fell over dead after drinking from the glass. There's still a number of glasses on the table in there. I'm sure you can take whatever was in there.
Curious. First with the names. Who are you?
Dr. Professor Raspberry Esquire III.
Dr. Professor, as he frantically is scribbling in this notepad. It almost seems like he's going to tear one of the pages off. It's so intense. And you?
Archibald Leopold Banks of the Banks family.
I've heard of you. I've read one of your books about your wonderful hunting.
I did all those myself.
It certainly was a great book. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next, Miss
Miss Judy Scarlet.
Judy Scarlet?
Yes. Have we met?
No, at least I don't think so. I thought I saw you in the news. I can't seem to place it.
Well, you must have saw something from my family or a book that I wrote recently.
It's okay, and you, Mingus, right?
Mingus, yeah, maybe you've read one of my books. The Quintessentials of Accounting.
Right. So, Dr. Professor Raspberry Esquire the Third, what a name. You who say that he was maybe killed with his drink. Yes? You suspect poison.
Well, I would imagine as such. None of us drank from said glasses because he insulted all of us during his toast.
Well, actually, that's not true, because a couple of us drank from the glasses and nothing happened.
Interesting. Perhaps said parties were involved and I may just leave.
Not a chance.
Worth a try.
I think we should all go into the area in question and take a gander, shall we?
Yes, duck.
I'll head into the dining area. He goes in there and starts looking at the wine and various other things.
Can I casually head back through the ballroom, back to the dining room, and then see the body on the ground and like, well, what do we have here? Well, I guess I'll take a look. And I'll start going through and checking his pockets.
As you start taking out the single coin purse out of his jacket pocket, you see as his form starts to flicker and then pop out of existence.
It's mighty convenient. And flourish the bag a little bit, put that in my pocket, and head back for some dinner.
Did he like Jedi spirit die and all of his clothes are still there, or did he totally disappear?
He totally disappeared.
Okay.
That's a really good distinction. You guys head into the dining room, and the food is there, and the inspector is looking over the wine with the butler.
Lovely. Well, have you uncovered anything?
Not yet. I'm still testing this. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find anything, but the butler has assured me that the mechanical servants will keep everyone here for as long as the investigation takes. I'm sorry, but everyone's a suspect at this point.
Sure, they seem rather diligent. Yes, but with their processing nature. I'm gonna sit down at the table and just start eating.
I'll begrudgingly take a bite out of the duck and then stop after one bite and push it forward.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'll eat that.
Yeah, here, go ahead.
I'll ask the butler if, sir, is there any water or anything? I don't feel quite comfortable drinking wine as we see what happened.
Oh, yes, of course. I'll go get some water for you. The diet kind.
Yes. Oh, you're so kind for remembering. Thank you.
Maybe a fresh bottle? Yes. Open it at the table.
Of course.
Wonderful.
I'll be sure to go grab that.
As we're eating and the inspector's looking over the body, can I just say, so, have you found anything interesting? Or?
I'm still testing. I can't share everything. Everyone's still a suspect, including you.
Why? I didn't do it.
That's what they all say.
Yes, neither did I, but...
Well, you should really sit down and eat with us. It's quite rude that you're over here investigating
I don't believe he
quote-unquote
had an
murder.
invitation. Yes.
There's an extra plate since Mr. Body is not here at the table.
This is true. Please, help yourself to some duck.
Mr. Banks, it seems like, before you take that next bite, it seems like there's something strange that has to do with your duck right there. And I go to reach over and, oh, nope, it's just a coin. And I flick it over to you and I take a seat back in my
Oh, that was my duck. That's the one I gave you. I'm not eating anything else.
The inspector, after looking at this sort of like vial kit that he has, you assume maybe a poisoner's kit or alchemy, some kind of thing, he gets frustrated and sits down. Well, I suppose I'll have a bite, just for any of you.
I heard the wine's exquisite.
So, Inspector, are you married?
Oh, do tell.
He digs into his duck and goes, takes a bite.
Well, I was married once. You know, sometimes things just don't work out. And as an inspector, you know, things on the course, you know.
And he goes to grab a glass of the wine and absentmindedly goes to put it to his lips.
I hear it's to die for.
Is there something wrong with the duck?
No, you just have a little something on your face.
Mingus shakes his head like this poor idiot.
Yes, how did you find this establishment? How did you know that we were having even a dinner here?
Well, I got a tip that Mattias Montgomery is here. Do any of you seen him before?
I thought you said it was Gladius Montgomery.
That's what I said. Gladius Montgomery. He goes by many names. He's a con man. Do you know that?
That sounds like a terrible name.
He could be anyone. He's so good.
Well, it's not me.
Is it you?
He could be me, but I'll never tell.
That's awfully suspicious. That's awfully
Suspicious.
Why don't you wash that down with some wine?
And he collapsed to the floor.
It seems we have two Mr. Bodies.
Mr. Inspector.
I'll go and check his pulse.
He might be alive.
Oh, I think he's fine. I think I'll start giving him the doing compression.
They didn't do that back then.
Oh, okay, I'll just start hitting him like George Clooney in ER.
The butler comes back from the wine cellar. A fresh...
I didn't do it.
What?
We've been waiting. Thank you.
I think he's all right. I don't know what happened to him.
Oh, he's
Look,
probably just choked
Butler,
on something. It's
we've
quite
all had
fine.
the duck now. Are we going to die?
No!
I don't feel good. I don't bite. I don't feel good. I don't feel good.
Here we go.
This has been a lovely dinner. What's for dessert?
Well, we were going to have yogurt, actually.
For dessert.
Archibald can have mine.
A second Lady Scarlet's response. It seems a foolish dessert.
Would you guys prefer cake
Do you have
to
cake?
yogurt?
Yogurt.
I'm gonna try and slap this inside. Like, hey, you're alive, right?
His tongue falls out of his mouth. And
I'm gonna look for liquid on the table and grab it and throw it in his face.
That's-
it being the
that's
wine.
the
that
wine.
was-
you throw it in his face, and it seems to turn a little bit more red.
Look, no offense, Mr. Butler. This investigation seems to be going nowhere. I believe it would be best if someone, perhaps a group of people more capable, take the reins on this. Yes?
Yes, that would be better. Maybe we should search the house. There might be an intruder.
Wonderful. We should. You, maybe are best kept, to the dining room? Yes?
I'll check the personal quarters of the Mr. Body.
Look, however much it pains me to say so, perhaps we all stay in eyesight of one another.
Why don't we do pairs? Never mind, that doesn't work because there's 5 of us. Unless the butler goes with one of us.
I can go. I'd like to see if there's someone here of nefarious means.
But whoever's the killer, that other person might die then.
What?
If we go in pairs and one of us is a killer, then that person could die.
I've never died before.
Okay, I'll go with you.
Dr. Professor, why don't we pair up?
Sure, that would be lovely, Miss Scarlet.
What room are we going to, Archibald?
The private quarters.
Okay, private quarters.
Maybe we check our own rooms first. I believe there's a minibar.
Indeed.
There's various rooms here. There's all of your guest quarters, the dining room, as you saw, the trophy room, parlor, the ballroom you went through, same with the lounge. There's also the green and the yellow rooms. Orange and the yellow rooms, the kitchen, the servants' quarters, that's where I sleep, the storage area, and the observatory.
Well, let's go to the private quarters and the observatory because both the colors orange and yellow make my sciatica act up.
If you say so.
Very quickly, Mr. Butler, how many other servants sleep in said quarters that are not robotic?
There's
Do I know what a robot is? Sure. That are not robotic.
There's a few people who work here. Neville the gardener. There's Mrs. Bates. She might be in one of the green, or I keep saying green. It's orange and yellow. There's no green room. That's for plays and things. And there is the cook. His name's Mr. Algany. I've never known his first name. And not very many of us. There's a lot of mechanical servants, though, in various places. They tend to hide as well.
So we go straight to your room.
To the
or
servants'
butler's room.
quarters.
Okay, great. Where's everyone else going?
The private quarters.
Private quarters and observatory for us.
Okay.
Please, I'm stuck with you, Mr. Butler. I personally would like to see the cook and maybe the trophy room.
Yes, we shall go there right away. So, Miss Scarlet and the Professor Doctor, or Dr. Professor,
Thank you. What a correction.
you head up to the servants' quarters, which is up to the right down the hall. There's a few beds in the same room. It's a shared living area.
Well, what bed do you think is
Well, I
butler's?
think we rifle through everything here, yes?
All right, well,
The
you take the right, I take the left.
Sure. The quicker we figure this out, the quicker we may leave.
As you go to open the door, you open it and you find a woman who is dressing, and she shrieks, "Oh, who are you?"
My lady, I mean, just kidding.
Oh, pardon me, madam.
Get out of here! I'm dressing!
Okay, close the door.
I stay in the room but turn my gaze to the side. Pardon our intrusion, ma'am, but there's been multiple murders, it would seem, on the premises, and we are investigating. If you may dress yourself promptly, so we may investigate said servants' quarters.
Get out of here!
Dr. Professor,
I will not
get out.
get out.
Dr.
I will
Professor.
stand here staring at the ground until you dress yourself.
Dr.
I will
Professor.
not allow her to hide whatever
She is a
evidence
woman,
she may be
and
hiding.
she is trying to get dressed. What is she hiding, her brassiere?
This is 1875. And she is a woman.
She walks over to you and slaps you right in the face. And you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Deserved it. Ma'am, I turn around, turning very red. Ma'am, I do apologize, but yes, this is why they call me Raspberry. Please get dressed promptly so that we may investigate your quarters.
Okay, fine, I'm nearly finished, but my things are my things.
And you are also a servant.
And I don't know who you are.
That's wonderful. You may go investigate the bodies yourself. Of Mr. Body.
Mr. Body's, he's dead?
Yes, you may go say your goodbyes, I suppose.
She runs out of the room, down the
Excellent.
stairs.
Don't you think we're quite rude for doing that to that poor old lady?
I walk into the room and start digging through her things specifically.
Yeah, there are
You bet,
there are 3 trunks, each at the foot of each bed, and she was dressing by the one on the left, so you go through that one.
Yes.
You find a series of letters. These letters are all addressed back and forth between, as you surmise, Mrs. Bates, who was the servant you just were accosted by, or accosted, I'm not sure which one, and her sister. You peruse through the letters, and they basically detail out the fact that she was denied leave to go see her dying mother, and she was very upset about this in a multitude of letters that her employer, Dr. Body, would not grant her leave in this very trying time in her life.
Well, it seems we have motive from her, if nothing else. I share the letter.
Did you see anything else in the trunk?
No, there's just letters. It seems she got out everything else she may have needed.
Oh, right.
It might be worth investigating further with her.
Correct, indeed. Well, let me go ahead and look in the middle bed as you look on the last one, just to make sure we got everything covered. I look in the middle bed.
Oh, right. The middle bed is got a collection in the trunk of various books on plants and hedgework, as well as some tree trimmers and a certain specialized set of books about medicinal herbs and things.
And the last one.
Sure. The last one, trunk, has a series of cookbooks in it, as well as a few nice hunting knives and a few corked bottles.
Are the bottles wine-sized?
No, they're small, like dropper bottles, and they have some sort of brown liquid in them.
I hold up one of the vials. It seems the cook had this in his trunk, or someone was storing it there.
What is that?
I uncork one of them and waft.
You waft it, and it smells very tarish.
Tarish?
Yeah, very bitter.
Cork it, put it in my bag.
You guys finish up in there? Do you head downstairs? Do you continue along the hallway to the storage area, or?
Storage area or the orange room next, yes?
The orange room. It sounds quite peculiar.
All right, you guys head downstairs, heading towards the orange room. Archie? Mingus?
Who's your money on, Archibald, that did it?
Well, I think you did it, sir.
I didn't do it.
Okay. Wink.
Do you think the con man and the guy that did it are the same person?
Yes. No original thoughts. If you are correct, tell people I said so.
Yeah, okay.
The private quarters. Right.
You guys head upstairs to the private quarters of Dr. Body, and you head into a nice drawing room. It's filled with a few sketches of various houses, and there's a bedroom in there. There's not really much of storage at all, just a single nightstand next to the bed and some paintings of mostly Dr. Body himself, as well as a rug.
These pictures are so creepy, I feel like they're always following me, and I'll just start to inspect it a little bit.
Yeah, roll inspection.
What is it? Investigation.
16.
You look around the painting. First 2 of them seem to just be normal paintings.
See anything out of the ordinary, Archibald?
I'll peruse the nightstand.
I am looking for money, for keys, artifacts, and maybe a last will and testament. I don't know. Oh, super good. 22.
You find an orange Bible, quite a bit of dust in the top layer of the drawer. The second drawer in itself has a few fuzzy little dried animals. They're odd looking. They used to be magical in some case. And then in the third drawer, there is just a single plaque that says Club 999. It's a golden plaque, and it has just the symbol of the nines.
Well, I'll take the gold, leave the Bible, note the creatures, and I'll inspect the rug.
You go over toward the rug, and you tug on it, and there seems to be a door under it.
Oh, good find, Archibald.
I just liked it. I was going to steal it, but now...
Yeah.
I like to see you hauling a big ass rug out.
Let's see if we can get it open, huh?
Yes. Is it like an animal skin rug, or is it like
Yes, it's actually a very nice animal skin rug. An animal skin that you've been coveting for quite some time.
Well, you know, these snow leopards I've always been quite a fan of. I'll just, I'm going to take this.
Oh, okay.
As you roll up the 6-foot carpet, do you carry it?
For now.
You're walking
I
around
don't
with
think
me
you
on
can-
your shoulder.
If we go through that door, I don't know if you could bring it at...
I'll come back for it.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
Is the trapdoor unlocked?
It is.
You first.
All right. I'll open the door.
You open it, and it is unlit on the other side. It seems to be an empty room, as far as you can tell.
I'll just look in there for several awkward moments with Archibald in the darkness.
A perception check with disadvantage unless you have dark vision.
Not bad. 17.
It's hard to see because it's really dark in here, but you start to see some books and papers and desks a little bit. But as you look at them, you notice they're upside down in this room. Somehow gravity is reversed, or somehow they're pasted on the ceiling. It doesn't really make sense.
Can I grab something in the room that's small and just toss it in there and see if anything happens?
Sure. You toss it in there. As soon as it hits the ground, it flies back up and hits the ceiling.
Well, that's weird.
How curious.
Yeah. All right. I've looked in there. You want to go in there?
Yeah, let's go. I'll light a candle.
All right. You first.
Sure. You jump down there. There is no ladder. It's about 10 feet.
Geronimo.
Go ahead and roll an athletics check.
7.
You plop down there, and unfortunately, the 6-foot carpet you just grabbed throws off your trajectory a little bit, and you sort of land on your side, and you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage, I guess, falling damage. And then the carpet flies out of your hand and smacks up to the ceiling.
No, my treasure.
But you seem to be standing normally in this weird upside-down room.
Give it back, evil room. Okay, your turn.
I'm going to grab the side and kind of slide down so I hang first and then let go.
Roll athletics with advantage, then.
13.
You go and drop down. You manage to land on 2 feet, but you might have ripped your pants a little bit.
Oh, man. That's my second rip.
But you guys are standing normally in this very dimly lit with a candle upside down room with desks seemingly on the ceiling.
Here, bend over. I'll climb on your back, and maybe I can reach.
No, that's okay. I'm going to cast Mage Hand and start opening the drawers.
Oh, great idea. You start pulling on the drawers, and as the papers open from the drawers, you grab one or two, make an Arcana check.
10.
You try to pull the first few pages down, and as they get close to you, your mage hand seems to not be able to hold on, and they fly back up into the drawer.
Can I start looking for whatever's causing this to happen? The gravity switch?
Roll a perception.
13.
You're not exactly sure what's causing this, but you definitely know it's magical in some sense, if only you had some way of ascertaining some kind of magic thing.
Any ideas, Archibald?
I have a few. A car with a motor, a metal bird who flies, and a cup that always stays cool.
I meant about this room.
I haven't the slightest.
So I guess I'll just just use Mage Hand again.
Yeah, go for it. Roll an Arcana check.
Don't let go this time.
22.
22. You managed to pull some of the papers down. There's some kind of research notes for advanced level necromancy spells. It seems to be specifically obsessed with different ways of life regeneration, transfusion, and just a lot of intense magic stuff. There's also the symbol that is the same one that was on the floor in the ballroom of the Nines in the mural.
Interesting. I'll stuff it into my jacket pocket. I think we got what we needed here, Archibald.
Me too. Help me with this rug.
All right. Well, all right, I'll try.
The trapdoor is 10 feet up. How do you guys get out?
Yeah, how much do you weigh?
Like 160.
Yeah, I'm like 120, so I'm going to get on your shoulders,
Sure.
and I'll try and climb out.
Why don't you guys roll performance?
Hey-oh.
Because to get on a guy's shoulders...
13.
Drew 20? 13? Okay, great. You hop up on his shoulders like you've done this before or something. But you go and you manage to grab on with one hand onto the lip.
I'll try and pull myself up.
Roll some athletics for me.
It's going to be a 5.
You try to pull yourself up and you end up kicking Archie, and then now you're hanging by one arm on this lip.
Archie, help! How dare you kick me?
Help, Archie!
I can't from down here.
Yeah, maybe if I could swing my foot up.
30-20.
30-20. You manage to grab your other hand on, and you feel like you can maybe pull yourself up.
I'll like lay on my back like, oh my God. Wipe my forehead with my handkerchief. All right, Archibald, let's go. And I'll hold my hand down and try and get him to... Can I reach that far?
Not quite.
Here, I have rope. I'll throw it.
Oh, okay, yeah, good idea.
Catch.
You throw up the rope, and you manage to just barely climb out of this little trapdoor in the floor. You guys got out successfully. Way to go.
Oh, that was hard.
Is the rug still in the room?
Are you going to try to grab it? It's still on the ceiling in the other side of the trapdoor.
What I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull out my cane and I'm gonna flick one of the levers down on the side, and from the end of it, it'll start sparking electricity. And I'll kind of point and like flick the cane to under the open door of the trapdoor, and like a fishing rod, this lightning lure flies out from the cane, and it will grasp it, and I will try to pull it closer to me.
Wow. Is that a spell?
Lightning lure.
It's a spell.
Oh, what's the DC?
15.
It's a rug of smothering.
Yeah,
Don't even
the rug
start.
fails. You do pull it closer to you. How much damage does the rug take?
2d8 damage.
Oh my God, 2d8?
Go ahead and roll it.
Is that a cantrip?
Yeah.
11 lightning damage.
You pull your cane back and then hit this lightning whip, and you pull the rug out of the hole in one fluid motion, but then you realize as you pulled it through so quickly, it bisected the rug, and now it's in half.
Well, now you have 2 rugs.
I like your thinking, mister. You carry this half, I'll carry the other half.
All right, I guess that's fair.
All right, great.
To the observatory.
Yeah, before that, we're going to head down to the butler and Theodus.
Thaddeus. Shall we head to the cook first? I would like to give him my compliments.
Yes, I suppose we should. It's right through here, through the dining room.
Lead the way.
Okay, here we go. Mr. Algany, we're here in the kitchen.
What are you doing in my kitchen?
Hello, Mr. Chef. What was your name?
My name is Mr. Algany.
And he brandishes a knife towards you that he was using to cut meat.
Whoa, easy there, sir. I just wanted to extend my compliments to your delicious meal.
I don't know anything, so don't go in here. I just make food. I don't know anything. You're in my kitchen.
Mr. Agony, I would love to know what your specialty is.
I'll make food. What do you think?
And do you know what his favorite wine is?
Well, there's a red that we make on the estate, actually.
Oh, you make your own wine. That's probably why it was so exquisite.
Well, I don't make it. Some other chump makes it.
And Mr. Agony, are you the person that receives this wine, seeing how as you prepare the meals?
I mostly do the food. Butler handles the wines. And the serving droids or whatever. Robots.
That's quite
Alchemical.
Interesting.
Creation.
Well, again, I compliment you on your duck.
Thank you.
A little extra salt next time.
is my kitchen.
Easy with that. You might poke your eye out. And I go to reach out towards the knife.
Yeah.
It's a mighty fine blade. And then I flick a coin out of thin air, and I flick it over to him.
He goes to swat at it with his knife,
Coin.
and he kind of tips it a little bit, and then it flies into this pot that seems to have some stew in it.
Oh, I'm gonna have to fish that out sometime.
Well, I do believe we've gotten everything we need here, Mr. Butler. Shall you lead the way to the next room? What was it, the trophy room?
Yes, I suppose we can go in there as well. Maybe I'll show you Mr. Body's favorite trophy.
Oh, please do. I would love to see it.
You guys walk into the trophy room, and Mr. Body directs you towards the corner of the room, which you didn't quite see before, but it's actually a golden golf club, and it has a plaque on top of it that says Lucky 999.
Oh, and what might the story be behind this lovely piece?
Well, Mr. Body was very interested in the new sport golf and decided to play quite extensively, and evidently he won this tournament in Scotland.
I can't help but notice that this appears to be everywhere, this 999.
You know, I normally tell you to ask Mr. Body, but
He's gone, yes. You know, I have another question while we're here in this room. Why does such a room need 2 fireplaces?
It's something to do with the experiments that Mr. Body takes in the observatory. This is directly below the observatory, and this fireplace in the center generates steam that powers whatever mechanical necessities he has. It changes from day to day, but...
Are you trying to say that they are all steam-powered?
Initially, before Mr. Body does his... Well, I'm not sure what he does, but it creates...
Does he do that all by himself?
Yes, no one's allowed in the observatory.
Well, I do say this is a mighty fine golf club, you called it. Talking about it, inspect the case that it's in for locks or how it's opened.
Turbo investigation.
15.
15. Looks like a really simple, museum lock. You venture in your own expertise. You'd probably be able to pick it if you had some time.
We'll stole that in the own brain cabinet. Well, now that Mr. Body is gone, and the investigator is gone, do you think we might be able to pecule our way up into this steam room?
Well, have your way. I suppose I must come along. I guess maybe I am a bit curious.
Now you're speaking my language. Well, please, lead the way. I'm very curious.
This way. Dr. Professor. Miss Scarlet? As you guys approach the orange room, you hear some light sobbing.
Oh, good.
Let me go
I wonder
forward.
if this is Mrs. Bates. Perhaps, yes. You should take the lead
I don't
on
trust
this one.
you from the past experience. I knock on the door and I ask, hello? And I kind of try to open the door and slightly.
I'm changing.
I always sob when I change.
Come in. Is this to be one of the guest room? Oh, you're the one from before.
Miss Bates?
Miss Bates, yes.
Why are you sobbing?
You and your rude friend said that Mr. Body is dead.
Unfortunately, yes, he did have, more than a sip. He had the whole cup of wine that we were given at dinner. Do you have any inclination of who would have tried to kill Mr. Body?
Kill? He's been killed. But how could it happen?
Well, Dr. Professor, do you have any questions to figure out how Mr. Body has been killed for Mrs. Bates?
Mrs. Bates, I apologize for our previous encounter.
You better.
You see, we are trying to discover what has happened on these grounds, and I suppose I have a few questions for you if you'd humor me with some answers.
Sure, why not?
Is there any animosity between yourself and the, pardon the pun, Mr. Body?
Well, you could say there was at a time, but that doesn't mean I'd kill him.
But according to the letters we found...
Now, what sort of disposition do you hold with your employer?
He's an arrogant and unloving person. Obviously, he never married. Wouldn't know.
Mrs. Bates.
Yes.
You said you are married, correct?
Yes, I'm married. I'm a Mrs.
Mr. Bates, is he in the picture at all?
Yes, he's at home. He does not work here.
The cook What do you know of him?
Mr. Algan, he's very cantankerous, prone to anger, but he has a strange breath at times, foul odor, but that's normal halitosis, I'm sure.
It is a symptom. After all, I'm a doctor.
So, Mrs. Bates, you have no reminiscing emotions towards Mr. Body. What you said, he was an arrogant...
He was rude, but now that he's dead, I don't like all these questions. I'm upset. If you need your rooms cleaned or something changed, notify me, but I'll be in one of the others, okay? Good day.
Actually, my room probably could use a cleaning. The mini bar is empty, and
Okay,
I would like
fine,
a
I'll
restocking.
go restock it.
Excellent.
Goodbye.
Well, clearly she did it.
Well, let's look around here just to double check that we don't miss anything, don't you think?
Absolutely. I also think there was no connection between that Mr. Algany and the strange smell he had in his mouth. I don't think she understood the connection. She was just speaking on his halitosis.
I agree. Here, let's look around here before we miss the opportunity.
We're gonna dig through the orange room.
You go through the orange room and you find various personal care items, that you would expect to be in some sort of guest room. There's some change of sheets and clothing, but nothing particularly noteworthy.
Okay. Miss Scarlet, perhaps we should further investigate this liquid we found. We wafted at it and smelled, could see
Well, I'm quite nervous
the
to
brownish
taste
liquid.
it.
No, I do not intend on tasting it, but perhaps we pour out a small drop, see its true color outside of the bottle. Maybe see how it reacts with the surface.
Quite. Is there a plant around here? Usually plants are living things that might,
Excellent idea. Perhaps we could find the Neville, the gardener. I either find him or his garden.
Let's go on ahead.
All right. So you guys head towards the garden.
Mm-hmm.
Minkus, Archie, and Thaddeus, closely behind, head towards the door to the observatory. Has a little placard on the side that says observatory. Door's locked. What do you do?
Mr. Butler, are you able to get inside this door?
I'm sorry to say I do not have the key.
I saw the key in the private quarters. Would you mind going and getting it? We'll wait here.
Oh, where was it in these quarters? In the
Right on
nightstand?
top of the nightstand.
All right, I'll be right back.
Fantastic.
And he saunters off.
I'll cast Thunderwave at the door.
Wait. Just a moment, Mr. Banks.
Escalated quickly.
Suspicious.
Just one moment, Mr. Banks.
Okay.
I'll try to pick the lock. 22.
You hit them tumblers, opens right up.
Well, it seems like this door wasn't locked after all, wasn't Mr. Banks? Mr. Pine, as I put my tools away and walk right in.
You walk in, and you see an enormous telescope through a large open area through the roof. There seems to be a dome kind of in the middle of the large telescope, and there's a kind of chair up where you would view through it. There's also these two large storage tanks. They're kind of like silos, so to speak, and they're connected to this telescope area. You see one large desk with various papers and some cages with some live somethings in them. They're very agitated as soon as you come in the room, as well as a multitude of books and other sorts of things.
I would like to look at what the telescope is pointed at.
Go ahead and make a perception check as you walk towards the telescope.
23.
You climb up a small stairwell to get into this seat to look into the telescope. As soon as you sit down in the seat, you notice off to your right, down on the bottom of this dome area that's sort of encompassing this telescope, you see some sort of plate slide down. There seems to be a keyhole behind the plate that slid down on the dome.
I'll just say, hey, there's a keyhole here.
Keyhole, what's it lead to?
Some kind of something.
I could probably get inside it.
Be my guest, Mr. Banks.
I'll cast Thunderwave.
Roll it, yo.
10 thunder damage to the telescope and the box with a keyhole.
You cast out your Thunderwave, and it reverberates very loudly in this room, and a lot of papers get blown around, and nothing seems to have affected this keyhole or the telescope itself.
Well, I've exhausted all my options. I'm Mr. Montgomery. I believe it's your turn. I'm just gonna lock the door in case the butler comes back.
As you go over to the door, you see the butler. Oh, I didn't find the key. Hold on a sec.
Yes, well,
And you shut the door and lock it.
keep searching.
Okay, well, I guess I'll take a crack at this. I'll go and attempt to pick the lock. Yeah.
Go for it.
22 again.
You are about to go in to try to pick the lock, but then you notice as soon as you put your thieves' tool in there, some arcane runes around the keyhole kind of start to glow. And you'd kind of take a second look at this keyhole and you're like, wait a minute, like this isn't like a normal keyhole. This is like some kind of thing that goes in here.
Well, Mr. Banks, it seems this lock is beyond my speciality.
And right after that, a tumbler drops down on the other side to the right of the keyhole. It has 3 tumblers for 3 numbers.
Try 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I guess I can try that, and I will put in 999.
You put in 999, and it does not seem to work.
Did you try it?
Try 666.
Yeah, I'll try 666, and then that'll be my 2 attempts.
You turn the golden tumblers to 666, and the runes go in a circle, and the door pops open and slides to the ground, forming a doorway.
Oh, and what do we have here, Mr. Banks?
It looks like a door.
Yeah, lead the way. Please, I've done my part, now I think you can do your part. Or Mr. Pine, if you would like.
Yeah, I'll go in there.
Minkus, you walk into this room, and instantly you are met with a very disturbing sight. You see the body of Mr. Body inside this dome, as well as 2 other identical bodies that look just like Mr. Body in different clothing. And in fact, when you look a little closer, you notice that he seems to be in different stages of decay with each clone, if you will. Most disturbingly, you see this golden pedestal in the very center of this dome, which has a very sinister looking, let's call it a Sith Holocron.
Do it.
And it seems to be, I guess you could say, alive. It's a pyramidal structure that's like red and dark with
I
like
can picture
arcane sigils and like glass and sort of intricate metal. It looks very expensive and creepy, yeah. But you walk into this room and that's what you see.
I would like to inspect the holocron.
How would you like to inspect it?
Sniff it, lick it, and maybe touch it a little bit.
Roll Arcana.
24.
You take a gander at this very sinister looking object, and you get the feeling that those papers that you found in that weird upside down desk room was helping to make this incredible magical object. And you get the feeling this is probably that artifact that has been rumored to be in Mr. Body's possession.
I will pick it up.
As soon as you pick it up, the door slams closed, and the room starts filling with a red liquid.
I'd like to look for a drain.
You go ahead and then look for a drain. Go ahead and roll inspection.
You good?
Investigation.
Inspectigation.
A 25.
You look down at the ground and you see that there are openings for probably storage tanks you saw on either side. It's filling out of one side and the other side is not receiving or whatever it's doing. But you guys are in this dome. It is not completely closed. It does have a groove about 10 feet up or so that actually houses the physical telescope. So you'd be able to like float for however long you can float, but you won't drown unless you lose the ability to swim.
Is there a lever or lever that I can flip to allow that like silo to take on liquid, or maybe a little wheel I can turn that opens a valve?
You don't see anything like that. Thaddeus, what do you do as you see the door close very suddenly?
I'll knock on the door.
You guys hear knocking. The water is about chest height at this point. It's light red.
Is anybody in there?
Yep.
You guys find anything?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna cast knock on the door then.
You see the sigils around the door lock start to dim and become dormant.
You guys doing all right?
I'm a little nervous that if we're in here too long, we gonna miss the yogurt, but, you know, we're all right.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that you guys are doing all right. Let me know if you find anything interesting. And I'm going to go over to the desk
Sure
and start
did.
looking through papers.
Okay. So you're just going to leave them in there?
For now.
All right.
Well, Miss Scarlet, I believe if we if we put a drop of this brown tarish liquid on this plant, we will be able to determine if it is in fact poisonous to organics. Insane.
That was just an aside.
Yeah.
That's good.
So knock did not do anything.
Oh no, it did something.
Knock doesn't open the door, it just unlocks it.
Yeah.
Is there any cracks in this to get a leverage in to open it, or is it just smooth and shut?
I mean, it's mostly smooth, but I suppose if you had some sort of like crowbar or something.
I think I could probably get us through this door, Mr. Minkus.
Let's see it.
All right, stand back. I'll cast Thunderwave.
Roll that damage.
18 thunder.
You cast Thunderwave, and a big reverberation goes through this doorway, and it pushes the door completely out of its socket. It flies across the room. Go ahead and make me a dex save, Thaddeus.
Look out!
Wow, all the way to the
back
table?
Yep.
14.
You move mostly out of the way. It just kind of nicks your leg a little bit. You only take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as this door flashes by you as it gets thunderwaved out of its socket, and this red water comes crashing sort of down out of the mouth of the door.
Good thinking, Archibald.
So what is that wretched smell?
Probably whatever that red liquid is.
There was some,
There's also 4 dead bodies in there.
Mr. Body's bodies in there.
Archie and Minkus, you guys feel strangely really good, actually. Wherever the water touched you, you feel a sense of vitality, and you guys gained 10 temporary hit points each.
Oh,
Okay. Do the bodies get also?
And at this point, your pocket begins to glow red hot. And it begins to go so hot that it hurts.
are you just happy to see me, Mr. Minkus?
Is there anything in this room, like tongs or something?
Yeah, sure, you could find something like that.
I'll find that, and if I can't, I'll find something to put it in as fast as I can.
All right, yeah, sure. You grab it out of your pocket, trying to handle it and get it in the tongs and put it in like a bird cage or something like that.
What might that be, Mr. Pine?
I don't know yet.
And before anyone can say another word, you see Mr. Body step out of this dome.
Which one? All of them?
Just one. He has fiery death in his eyes as he says,
Give me back my life gate.
and we're going to roll initiative.
Does the vial affect the plants at all?
I'm sorry, Nick. We were getting on something good at one point.
No, we're still solving it.
It doesn't seem to have a large effect on the plants.
Miss Scarlet, I don't believe this is poisonous to organic units. Insane.
You look rather dashing in the moon.
Wow, Miss Scarlet, coming on so strong.
15. 23.
All right, Thaddeus, you see the dead, undead Mr. Body come out from this area, and he looks really different than he did before. A lot more dead, but also somehow alive.
I'm going to quickly reach in my pocket and grab one of the playing cards, and I'm going to quickly take a look at it, and I'm just going to throw it at him. 14.
It seems like the steam vents somehow are not directing your cards very well, and they kind of fly south and hit the wood floor. It's now Mr. Body's turn. He's gonna look at you, Minkus, and say,
I said, give it back.
he's going to try to cast Power Word Cure at you. As he goes to try to cast this spell at you, you see his magic like start to twirl off his finger, but then it sort of fizzles. And he looks at his finger like, what? And you hear this. You look behind you, and the Sith Holocron, if you will, has a little crack in it. It doesn't work.
Mr. Minkus, toss me that there holocron. I believe I know what to do with it.
What?
I'll show you.
Minkus, it's your go. Are you gonna use your action to throw it to him, or do something else?
I'm gonna leave the room.
Okay, you're just gonna dip out.
I'm gonna action and dash out of the room.
Okay, great. You go and open the door, and there is the butler on the other side pounding on the door, and you push right past him. And
I'm gonna say, I think someone needs your attention in there, and then I'm gonna keep running.
okay,
Mr. Minkus, please reconsider. I believe I know that thing is important.
you guys run out and start chasing each other. Dr. Professor Raspberry and Miss Scarlet, you hear some commotion and yelling.
Sounds like more people are dying inside.
Well, with that statement, do I really want to go inside now?
That's kind of what I'm wondering. I'm rather enjoying the garden.
Would you like to take a stroll down the garden?
Yes, is there an outdoor bar of sorts where perhaps we could swipe a bottle of non-carbonated champagne?
As they call champagne.
Yeah, sure. One of the servants, robot servants out there has various drinks.
Excellent. A bottle of your finest low-carb champagne.
And he gives you the bottle.
Well, I suppose we're sharing a bottle and a lovely stroll.
Sounds like a great evening.
All right, Thaddeus, your go.
Well, I do say, Mr. Body. Well, bye. I'm going to cunning action dash. I want to get up and, if I can, try to catch Mr. Pine and try to tackle him.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Grapple check, contested, you guys.
19.
11.
You attempt to tackle him and you kind of whiff and get mostly wall.
Gentlemen, this is absurd. Just let me see the holocron.
That is my turn.
He's gonna cast Fireball at you guys.
Sure.
You guys are all in the same area, so you'll have to make it.
30-20.
26.
14, and as a reaction when this fireball descends upon us, I will tap my cane twice on the ground and cast Absorb Elements, so some of the fire will absorb into my cane.
Ooh, I like it. Let's see how much damage. So it's 32 points of fire damage for those who didn't save.
I'll also uncanny dodge.
Good idea. Minkus, your go.
What laugh? You make fun of my
So
laugh.
maniacal.
It's the holocron.
Yeah, it's the holocron. Do it.
Before he kills us all, Mr. Minkus.
I want to run just around whatever's the closest corner to me. Just go around it, and I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on the holocron.
Oh, okay. You cast Dispel Magic on this holocron, and you see the red menacing essence definitely meaningfully go down, and another large crack forms.
What's around me in this room?
Well, you're kind of heading down the hallway. You probably went right around to the staircase, so you're looking down over the ballroom.
I'll throw it as far as I can.
Okay, sure. Make athletics check, I guess.
30-20.
You throw it a good 60 feet. It
Shatters against the wall.
clatters to the floor. It's pretty far away. You're not really sure what that did. But
I know I'm not doing anything else, so I'll keep moving in that direction too.
Okay, great. Archie, what do you got?
He's still chasing us, Mr. Minkus. Let's take care of this. Wait up.
You definitely catch up to him because he has to pause and do the Dispel Magic thing.
Well, don't go throwing it, man. I'm gonna run after the device.
Okay, great. You dash towards the device.
Yep.
Thaddeus.
I would like to double dash, if needed, to the trophy room again.
You double dash and you make it to the door of the trophy room. Dr. Body is going to make it to the stairs close to where you guys got, and he's going to cast Cloud Kill. It's a 20-foot sphere of poisonous yellow-green fog, and he's going to just center it on the ballroom area where you guys are. Say con save.
17.
1.
Oh, no. It's 24 poison damage.
Mr. Minkus. I'm our only hope, Mr. Minkus.
Did you say I'm our only hope?
Yes.
Excellent.
Are you down?
Yeah.
Okay. And it is now your turn, Minkus.
As I'm going down the stairs, I'm going to cast Invisibility and move into a different room.
Great idea. Okay,
That's
you do
what
so.
I'm doing.
And Archie, that's safe.
That's 1 failure.
Okay, 1 failure. Thaddeus, what you doing?
I want to get in the door of the trophy room, lock it behind me,
You do so.
go to this golden golf club.
Are you going to pick the lock?
If I can do that, yes.
Yes, you can.
I would love to pick the lock. 25.
25, yeah, you get it open easy.
I would like to take this.
You grab it,
I'll head towards the window.
you head towards the window.
As we're going on our stroll, I would like to attempt as sneakily as I can to one at a time as we walk past a new type of flower, pick it, and eventually have a bouquet behind my back.
I feel like this is a big character arc for you this walk.
I picked some flowers for you.
Oh, thoughtful. So, do you have a Mrs. Dr. Professor?
I don't talk about her when I'm traveling.
What another thing in common. I don't talk about the mister.
Excellent. Well, we have that in common. Let me ask you, have you ever seen the inside of a Dr. Professor's wagon? Insane.
Next scene's gonna be like Titanic and the hand goes on the wall.
Dr. Body is going to jump off the second story, and he's going to fly all the way to his holocron, grab it, and fly back towards the stairs and start heading back to where you assume the observatory is. And that of initiative. Thaddeus.
I'm gonna open the window.
Yep.
Leave as casually as I can.
All right.
Actually, no, I'm gonna dash.
You dash right out of that window, and you head out into the bushes and into the evening. As we pan to the garden. As you guys walk out of the garden into where the carriages are, you notice Mrs. Bates and the cook, Dr. Algany, loading up a wagon frantically with some belongings and travel clothes.
Mrs. Bates, what's going on? We heard explosions, screams. Wait, we heard screams? What's happening?
I'm not sure, but we're getting out of here. We tried to kill him, but it didn't work. Let everyone leave. Get out of here.
Okay.
You're gonna see Minkus walk out on fire and be like, I told you I didn't do it.
So, what is happening? You don't know?
Mr. Algany noticed he doesn't actually eat the food, and we figured he's an evil man anyway, so we tried to poison him, but it didn't work. Obviously, I hear the commotion in there, and I can only imagine.
Well, I've been trying to leave for quite some time.
Let's
now.
go!
Yes, where's my entourage, my carriage, my things?
I'm sure they're right around here. This is our carriage, so we're leaving. Goodbye!
And she closes the door to the carriage, and then saunter off.
Wait, is there anything I could do?
Right as she goes to close the door, I'm gonna cast Charm Person, and I'm gonna use 3 sorcery points to heighten it, so she has disadvantage.
She got a 0.
A 0. Miss Bates, please calm yourself.
Well, I suppose maybe we could stay for a cup of tea.
Well, we have her.
We have to tell the others that we found the murderer. Don't you think?
It sounds like they're a little busy.
Then we should turn into the police, probably get a reward.
Shall we take Mr. Body's wagon?
Indeed.
Excellent. Mrs. Bates, we're going to be joining you to the sheriff's station. Sounds like an excellent idea, yes? I'm going to start writing out a confession statement and then have her sign it.
You do so.
Cool.
Archie, one more death save.
Dun 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 dun. 1 success!
That's 3 successes.
3 successes!
Good thing someone was keeping track.
Archie, you wake up in this mansion.
Tell me there's still a cloud kill above it.
Wait, wake up.
And you smell a faint, noxious smell that has since dissipated.
Oh, okay.
And you get up and notice that no one's around.
Now, where'd I put that rug?
And that's where we're calling tonight.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to one of our themed one-shot games at the Lazy Bardcast. If you'd like to hear more of these, look for them at the beginning of each season of our regular campaign. And if you would like to vote for the theme of these one-shots, you may do so by becoming a patron on our Patreon page at patreon.com/thelazybardcast. Next up, we return to our regular campaign as we head into the storm for Season 2.
The house is just getting destroyed in the background.
I may not have found what I came for, but I came for what I found.
Aww.
Oh, that was cold. I want that on a shirt.
That's the worst.